Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Red Zone podcast. My name is Nate Cohen. I'm joined by my co-host, slightly depressed co-host, Riley Davis, and it is a tired Monday for the Red Zone podcast. How are you doing? How you doing, Riley?
So great. So amazing. Nothing could have gone better this week, I don't think. Truly. Um, yeah, perfect week, perfect
Yeah, man,
weekend.
same.
I didn't spend it stranded in Missouri at all among cornfields and legitimately nothing. Like legit nothing. I
Yep.
like thought people it was like an overreaction, not an overreaction, like a over exaggeration. And then we were
Yeah,
on the
there's nothing.
plane, and
There's
I
nothing in
look out
Missouri.
when they're like, yeah, we're about to land. And I looked, and it was just flat farm. And I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
I
really
had the
fun
opposite of you.
weekend.
I had an incredible weekend. Um, IU with a statement made. And then I woke up at 6 o'clock on Sunday morning to go to the IMSA race in Indianapolis, the 6 hour race, Battle on the Bricks there. For you motorsport people, IMSA is pretty much just like the World Endurance Championship, but American. Um, and so that was fun. I got a cool new sticker for my phone, Rexy. Oh, there it is. It's a dinosaur
Fire. What?
for you not seeing on
Oh,
the audio listeners. It's a dinosaur
forgot that was a
because
thing. I was like,
one of
yeah,
the
no
cars has
sh
a dinosaur. One of the cars has a dinosaur paint scheme. But man, what a weekend, man. Um, I mean, I didn't sleep, but
Me neither.
I I I got a new hat, pretty good.
Nice.
Um, has the red brim. And yeah, college football had, I would say, another pretty good week. This has been a good
I
start to the
wouldn't say
season.
it's like, okay, yeah. It's solid. I wouldn't say that this is like, this is on the lower end of the rankings week per week, I would say. I mean, it's only been four
Yeah,
weeks, but like, it's still good.
it's been
Personally,
consistently good.
no. But
We will personally know. But like I'm gonna I'm gonna see how we started in 2023, 20, I guess last year with the red zone gauge. If I remember, I think week 4 was like low key when we started dipping a little bit. Um, but let me pull it
week two
up.
was the best week last year, right?
No, it
Or
was
was it
not.
rivalry
Oh, it
week?
was. Yeah, we gave it a 9.75. Week 3 was a 4 and week 4 was a 7. And
Damn,
so far we're at I think like 7, 9, 8 to start this year. And,
not bad.
we'll get to our red zone ranking, the red zone
At the
gauge at the end of this
end.
episode.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned, everyone. But for the first time, we have genuine news that isn't just us saying, oh, some coach got fired. Today, the SEC announced finally the 3 permanent opponents, which they said they were going to do a few weeks ago when they announced the switch to 9 conference
Nine
games.
game, yeah.
And I think it got leaked this morning, and then SEC was just kind of forced to say it. Um,
They release the
we're
full
gonna go
schedules
through.
tomorrow, right?
I don't know. I don't know what their plan is, but yeah, all the permanent opponents got leaked. We can go through all of them. Bama gets Auburn, Tennessee, and Mississippi State, which is what I thought. It's a little. I don't love losing the LSU annual, but I understand them not wanting to give us Auburn, Tennessee, and LSU. That would be slightly overkill. And Mississippi State, we've played them annually, I guess up until Texas and Oklahoma joined, we had played them annually for like 100 years. So there is a pre-established rivalry there. Um, I like that. Arkansas gets LSU, Texas, and Missouri. The Texas one is a little out of left field, but I don't hate it. Little Big 12 action there. Auburn gets Alabama, Georgia, and Vanderbilt, which also feels a little bit out of left field. But Auburn's one of those teams where like I don't really know who you would throw into that third spot. Like Bama and Georgia are the gimmies, and then Auburn doesn't really have a rivalry with anyone else. Um, I think they just did that because of location. I'd like to see them get like funky and give Auburn uh, like I don't know, like 1,000 years in prison for existing. Um, or if we're being realistic on the SEC, give them like Texas or like some funny matchup. I don't know. I just want to see them lose. Georgia gets Auburn, Florida, and South Carolina. Um, makes sense. Two of their biggest rivals, and then it kind of always seems like UGA plays South Carolina in the intermittent. Florida gets Georgia, Kentucky, and South Carolina. Once again, makes sense. Kentucky gets Florida, South Carolina, and Tennessee. LSU gets Ole Miss, A&M, and M, and Arkansas. Mississippi State gets Bama, Ole Miss, and Vandy. Missouri gets Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Texas A&M. Oklahoma gets Missouri, Ole Miss, and Texas. Ole Miss gets LSU, Mississippi State, Oklahoma. South Carolina gets Georgia, Florida, and Vandy. Your thoughts?
Kentucky.
Oh, right. Yeah, Kentucky. My bad. I read Tennessee's. Georgia,
You're fine.
Florida, and Kentucky. Thoughts?
Not surprised. I'm low key like I don't know.
Florida one was a little bit out of left field. Do you guys have history with them or
Um, Not like a ton, but just like we haven't played them since 2 years ago. So I mean like I don't know. We always play Kentucky. I'm not surprised about that. I am surprised like we have a whole Mayor's Cup with Missouri. So
I'm a little surprised. I think that's kind of where
um
South Carolina having um like no real SEC rivalries.
I
Because
mean
South
technically we
Carolina's
kind of have
main
one with Georgia.
kinda, but like South Carolina's main rival's an ACC team. So like
Yeah.
I feel like they
I
don't have
mean
they don't have a big rivalry with any SEC team. So it makes
we
giving them
used
their
to really
annuals
because we
kind of
used to play Georgia like consistently and I kind of am excited for potentially that away trip. Not for the fans. I've heard that the fans on a Georgia away trip are miserable and like throw stuff at you. Um,
also both of us have a lot of friends that
yeah.
go there.
Well, that's
So
why like I am excited. Like, cause I'm excited to potentially get to go to UGA and in Athens and like see people. But Jackson, um,
yeah, shout out Jackson Chapman.
shout out Jackson, longtime friend and now
Long time
guest.
listener, first time caller.
Yep. If you haven't checked out that episode, that was last week's. It was
Very good
perfect.
episode.
It was really fun to film. And we'll hopefully have him back at another time because that was a good
Oh,
a good
definitely.
time for
We'll
sure.
definitely have him back for a week
That was just
review
fun.
later in the year, and then
Hmm.
potentially for some off-season content, depending on what we do with that. Um, yeah.
But yeah, I'm not
So
surprised. I'm more
yeah,
excited to play Georgia again. I'm a little bummed that we don't get to play Alabama annually because that was kind of fun.
yeah.
But
Having the Red Zone Bowl be an annual would be fun,
yeah,
but also like Alabama and South Carolina have no history, so
yeah.
it's kind of in my opinion, it makes sense. Like
I just don't understand like why not Missouri? We have a whole
Missouri, I would sub Missouri for Florida.
don't we
I
have
don't know why.
something with
For
hold
some
on.
reason, I associate South Carolina with Kentucky more than I associate South Carolina with Florida.
I know because I'm trying to remember. I think that there's a trophy involved with that one too, but I can't remember what it is.
Um, and moving on, Tennessee gets Alabama, Kentucky, Vandy. Texas gets Arkansas, Oklahoma, A&M. A&M gets LSU, Missouri, Texas, and Vandy gets Auburn, Mississippi State, Tennessee. Um, nothing too surprising here. Ole Miss getting paired up with Oklahoma is kind of funny. That's kind of one of the only like weird ones in here, but you could have probably guessed all of these if you tried. Um, this is not surprising, which is honestly nice. I thought they were going to do some. I thought they were going to be stupid here. Like they were going to give some teams. Like I thought Alabama was going to end up getting an annual with like Georgia, which was going to be stupid because it's not like it's a recent rivalry, but it's not like a legacy rivalry. And I
I mean,
think
but
giving
like
us an
they have a
annual,
y'all have a couple national championships like face
we have
offset
two we've
of.
played against each other, and they've
I
both
know.
come in the last 7 years.
Yeah,
I
but I
don't
mean
think it
like
would have
that's
made
kind of
sense to give
made
us.
one.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm saying like there's a bit of a rivalry there, but
Hmm.
like on our list of people we played, I would have put LSU ahead of Georgia anyway because we have much more of a rivalry with LSU than we do with Georgia.
So we have a
Um,
basketball rivalry with LSU.
Alas, it's not a basketball podcast.
I
Speaking of
know.
basketball, let 1 second. just want to mention the Atlanta Dream. I know we don't really talk about the WNBA, but both of us are WNBA fans, following the Atlanta Dream, and this was the first year that we've ever been good, and we immediately fucked it and lost to an Indiana Fever team that didn't even have Caitlin Clark.
They had Aaliyah
So
Boston.
yeah, so be fucking for real. How did we lose to for the Fever? Whatever, man. I'm happy that they have finally broken through, but it kind of sucks to lose to the Fever, especially because we went 1-0 up in the series and then we like choked the two games. Whatever. Just want to mention an
But
Atlanta
also,
sports update.
yeah, can we do another? Never mind, this is not a WNBA podcast. I was gonna say
What?
South Carolina alum shout out.
Oh yeah,
Asia
Asia
Wilson won
Wilson
the
winning
MVP.
MVP. Yeah,
Shocking.
I mean she is the best player
She's
I mean, I
freaking,
don't think she
she's
would
a
have won it if
god.
Caitlin Clark wasn't injured for 90% of the season, but simply because I just think she is the best player in the league. But
She's crazy. We have a statue of her. That's how you know.
who? Asia Wilson or Caitlin
Yeah,
Clark?
Asia Wilson. Why would we have a
Oh.
statue of Caitlin
I didn't know
Clark?
what you were talking because I was talking about Caitlin Clark and we have a statue of her. I was
Oh,
like, what?
no. In front of Colonial Life Arena where all the um biggest events and also the basketball games are held. There is a statue at the very front of Asia Wilson going like
Well,
this.
she is
And it's
probably the best player in South Carolina women's basketball history.
100%. And we only just retired her number last year. Please
I mean,
make
that
that
makes
make
sense.
sense.
Colleges don't really retire numbers like
I mean, we've had
soon
retired numbers
after,
up there,
unless
but
you're
I'm like,
fucking Colorado.
it's Asia Wilson, bro.
I know, but like I've seen call like Bama hasn't retired a lot of numbers. Like we still I
Fair
like
enough.
we should retire like Derrick Henry or like I don't know. But you know what? This week we're not doing the rankings blitz because this is last week we talked about how this is probably one of the most baffling rankings we've seen from the AP poll. And then they turned around and they did it worse this week. And I genuinely think this is the worst AP poll that has ever been
Where do you want to
created. And I'm not
start?
just saying that. Well, I want to start with a conspiracy theory. I think the AP poll is a psyop from the NCAA to see how much bullshit they can give their fans and get away with it. Because this is ridiculous. Some of the decisions made, I'm gonna have to make another highlight video this week with the exact same thumbnail as the one I made last week. Because just some of the decisions made here are baffling. Like truly baffling decisions. Like, I don't know where to start. Uh, like Miami moves up 2 spots, which makes sense. They beat Florida, who isn't very good, but that's a better win than
Oh,
either
never mind. I'll talk about
LSU
that in the
or Penn
game.
State had. Georgia and Oklahoma stay the same, whatever. And then the first mistake, which is Oklahoma getting bumped 4 spots for barely beating Auburn, who like I get they're a ranked team, but like Oklahoma had to get away with some bullshit to win that game. And
And it's
like
also like 11 and 22.
I'm
It's still
fine. I'm fine putting them in
spots.
the top 10, but like
Not at
9
number 7.
or 10, yeah, 7 feels a little insane. Florida State drops a position. They didn't beat anyone. A&M drops up one. I don't understand dropping Texas too. Like
I do.
you've this podcast, you've heard us complain about teams about the AP poll knocking teams for winning games. Like when Indiana beat ODU and they dropped us 3 spots. Like Texas, if I think my issue is the timing of it. Like I'm okay if you drop Texas to 10th after they like struggled against UTEP and like UTSA, but like why now? They finally looked good and pieced all of it together, and now you drop them 2 spots.
That's like when they
Why not
dropped
do this
Notre Dame
2 weeks
16
ago?
last week.
That one made sense because Notre Dame didn't like that one. Honestly, that
They
one made
won
sense.
by
This one
they
makes
lost by 1.
yeah.
So it's like it's not a bad loss, but like it was kind of like they delayed a punishment and then they decided, okay.
I'm like I don't like Arch Manning finally played well, and like you can say what you want about him mean mugging the Sam Houston player. I think it's a little cock. I mean, it's cocky, but if that's what he needs to get his momentum back, then like let's be real, this is like a complete non-issue. Like who cares about him mean mugging some Sam Houston State player no one's ever heard of? Like
That's why people care.
it's like it's
It's
one of
because it's
those things
like,
where it's
come
like
on, man.
baseball
Why are you
fans
doing
get
that?
mad at people for like flipping the bat or running the bases. Like I'm gonna say I like that type of stuff in sports. I like when people shit talk other people, unless it's to my team. But that's because that's what we all are. But like I love that like competitive spirit and like shit talking people incessantly. Who cares if it's Sam Houston State? It's funny. And I mean that's my I think people who are getting like really mad about this just like need to find something
I'm not
better
mad
to.
about it. I just think
No, I'm
it's
not
like,
saying you, but like
what are you
I've seen
doing,
people
man?
I've seen people like bitch about it incessantly, and I'm like, this is not worth our issue. If we really want to bitch about something, let's bitch about the rankings. Like,
They're
and
terrible.
then we get the second mistake, and there's going to be some bias in this. How are we not in the top 10? We just beat a top 10 team by
See,
53
I don't think,
points.
I mean, I
We
know
won
there's some bias in
63
that,
to
but I
10.
would agree. I would agree, because how are you not in the top 10?
I don't hate it because I know it gives them bulletin board material. And like I think one of the issues last year with this team is they kept needing to prove themselves in the media over and over. Sig talked about it in the press conference before the Illinois game. And now we've put our head down and we're just going to business. And I think if we continue to get disrespected like this, it'll just give this team more to play for. But I think objectively speaking, it's kind of insane that we're not in the top 10. Like, I mean, I was talking to my friends and I was like, they don't respect us, so there's no way we're in the top 10. But, like, come on, guys. We beat a top 10 team by 53 points. If this was any other, like, if South Carolina beat a top 10 team by that many, they would be in the top 10 because of
No,
SEC.
we wouldn't.
Yeah, you would. You guys
No, we
started the
wouldn't.
year 12th, and now you're like 2 and 2 and unranked. Like, come on now. You guys got like way overranked to begin the year. Um,
Thanks, man.
hey man, I'm just saying the facts. You guys are like 2 and 2 and looking down the death pit.
Because we were
And you guys
supposed to
started
be
you
good.
guys started the
We
year
had
like
like, we
11th.
were
So was
supposed
Clemson.
to be freaking, we didn't start, did we start like 14th?
No, you started 11th or 12th. Because I remember after beating Virginia Tech, you guys were in the top 10.
That doesn't feel right.
Um, you guys started preseason. You were the preseason number 13.
Okay, so I
So
was
somewhere
closer.
somewhere between you and I. Um, but rankings aside, I think this is the biggest mistake of the week. And I'm not just saying that because I'm an Indiana fan. Like South Carolina would be a bad example. What if like Tennessee was in the same spot we were and they beat a top 10 team 63 to 10? Tennessee would be in like the top. Like Florida State went from like nothing to 14 and then they beat some random team and got put up to like ninth. Like they won their bye week and like got moved up four positions. Like this is kind of ridiculous now that like no one still doesn't give us our flowers. Like we just kicked the shit out of a unan like yeah, Illinois was overranked. Like let's get that established. That was not a top 10 team. But they were ranked at the top 10. They just didn't play
I
like
mean, you
one.
did point out that you guys were favored. Like, it would have been an upset if Illinois won.
Yeah, we were favored by I think at game time it was like 7.5 or 6.5 or something like that. Um, but like, come on, man. And and we better be in the top 10 if we win in Kinnick this week against Iowa. Like,
You
I'm
would
gonna be pretty
assume.
pit. You would assume. But yeah, this one made no sense to me. I know, like, I haven't looked at the AP poll voter spread yet, which is something I usually like doing after the poll got released. Um, but I'm sure people still haven't given us the respect we deserve. Whatever. We'll just keep beating teams until they give it to us. Texas Tech gets moved up five once again. Like, this doesn't feel like enough for them. Like, they strolled in and kicked the shit out of a pretty good Utah team. And, like, I don't really see anyone in the Big 12 that can challenge them. I think they're going to go undefeated. Like I'm saying this now, there's not a loss on the remainder of Texas Tech's schedule. They don't play a ranked team for the rest of the year. Like listen to this. They play Houston at Houston, Kansas, which could be a trap game, at Arizona State, which could be a trap game, and then Oklahoma State, Kansas State, the BYU, who is ranked now, and then UCF and West Virginia. Like there's a high chance we see this Texas Tech team waltz into the playoffs 12 and 0 or 11 and 1. Um, so like I was confused on why they weren't raised more. I mean, they had a backup quarterback and they still pretty confidently beat Utah. Um, I another one is Bama dropping 3 spots on a bye week.
Yeah, we want to talk about losing the bye.
What did we do?
Lost.
Oh, I see. Like bye weeks are so weird because I feel like you shouldn't gain or lose on a bye week. You should just be the same spot you were before it.
It's
But
weird just because it's like they adjust everybody else. So it's like there has
why
to be
up
some
Georgia Tech?
motion, but like
Why up Georgia Tech 2? They beat Temple. Like we didn't learn anything about Virginia Tech this week, about Georgia Tech this week that we didn't already know. And
what did
I
you
guess a
learn
lot of
about what did you
this
learn
Bama
about Notre
movement.
Dame beating Purdue this week?
I
Why are
think we
they
learned
up
a lot
to?
about Notre Dame, which is that their defense is putrid dog shit. They allowed Purdue to
Okay,
score 30 points
so
on them.
why are they up two?
I was going to get there. That one also makes no sense to me.
You look at the freaking record of everybody on the rankings. One of these is not like the other. Who is it? It's Notre Dame because you have two
I
losses,
would have dropped Notre Dame out of the
1 and
rankings after
2,
this week.
and you're freaking number 22 in the country. No.
I would have dropped Notre Dame out of the rankings. I mean, I guess we can, I was last thing on the Bama point, like I can understand because Texas Tech and Indiana jumping them made sense. For Georgia Tech jumping them made no sense. Like that one is I don't get it. Vandy jumps to I mean a lot of these are because Illinois dropped 14 spots, which also why are they not unranked? Like I mean it looks good for Indiana because they're still ranked and so we can still say that we beat a ranked team by that much. But like what's why they didn't look like a good team. They got beaten the brakes off of them. I don't know why Notre Dame's still ranked, if I'm being honest. I'm
Didn't know
gonna
why they were
say
ranked
something
last
here.
week. Don't know why they're ranked now.
I'm gonna say something here that's gonna be a red zone first. I'm gonna give props to Auburn. How the hell are they not ranked? They walked
How they
into
fall.
Norm they walked into Norman and then played tough against Oklahoma, and if one or two calls didn't go their way, they would have won. And so they get dropped out of the rankings. Like I hate them. I'm glad they got dropped because I'm petty, but like it still makes no sense that they're dropped. What did TCU and BYU do to deserve to get ranked? TCU beat a SMU team that no one thinks is very good. This is an SMU team that's spiraling after losing to Baylor. And then BYU, their wins this year are Portland State, Stanford, and East Carolina. So why are they ranked over an Auburn team that has a good win over Baylor and a close loss against Oklahoma? And it's also like this starts to bring up the issue that we had last year with the playoffs, which is like, what do you like? Are quality losses a thing? Because if
It
quality losses
certainly
are a
is.
thing, then and quality wins, like
And then like what's the
SMU
standard for it all?
SMU didn't really like have a quality win, but they had two quality losses. So are we now going with wins matter? Why didn't we do this last year? And if we're going with wins matter, why is Notre Dame still ranked? Like I get it, I get it. This Purdue team is better this year than they were last year. I mean, honestly, they could have fielded 12 high schoolers and they probably would be better this year than they were last year. But like they allowed
In my
30 points to
mind,
them.
in my mind, you cannot there's no justification for having a 1 and 2 team in the rankings. There's
No.
no justification for
If
it.
you have a losing
Especially with this,
record,
there's only been 4 weeks. They've had one bye week, so they've literally legitimately they've only played 3 games and they've lost the majority of them. You shouldn't be ranked. You can't win the
and
majority of your first games in the season. You don't deserve to be ranked. It makes zero sense to me.
I'm gonna put one more out there. They still haven't beaten a ranked team this year. They played three
No.
teams, two of them were ranked, and they've lost both of them. So like,
It's because
whatever,
like, are we
man.
holding on to like them being in the national championship last year? Are we just like, oh, they were in the national
Yes, that's
championship
it.
last year, like
It's
we
that.
can't let them not be ranked.
It's brand bias. It 100% is. And like we joke about it because like I'm an Alabama fan, so like I'm the biggest recipient of that. So like haha. But it is. Like if you give someone so okay, let's talk about let's say it was Kentucky. Kentucky plays the first 4 games of the year that Notre Dame has played. Loses close to Miami, loses close to Texas A&M, and then beats a Purdue team by like 20. They wouldn't be ranked. They'd be getting votes probably, but they wouldn't be ranked. And like my opinion here, if you have a losing record
I mean, if you
and
exchange
you've
that,
played 3 games, or if you played 2 games and you have a losing record, so if you're 0-2, you don't deserve to be ranked. Like you need to have a winning record or you need to be 500, and that 500 rule kind of only applies for 2 weeks. If you're 2-2, I don't think you should be ranked unless you started
mm-mm.
the year like number one. But even in then, like you shouldn't be able to get away with this. And I know for a fucking fact they're just doing this because like they want to like
Well, it's
generate
because like what
views.
you said earlier, like if you were to sub Indiana or like either of our two teams, Indiana or South Carolina, if we did any of that, it'd be down like week one. Like if we lost our first game of the year, that'd be it. Like we wouldn't be in the rankings at all. But like,
Indiana's Indiana is walking on a tightrope right now. If we lose in Kinnick, I fully expect us to get dropped into the top 20, into like the 20s, which is like ridiculous because Iowa's a 3-1 team and Kinnick is a notoriously hard place to play. And like, so I'm convinced. I said at the beginning as a joke that the AP polls a psyop for the NCAA, but like I do think at a point, when do we start revoking some of these voters' privileges? Because this is ridiculous. Like I know we joked about the woman last week whose name I'm blanking on, who was like raised Florida for losing to South Florida. She should not have access. That's complete and utter nonsense. But some of these other people shouldn't have access either. Like I it's a flawed system. Like people are going to have biases. Like these people work for the colleges or they're affiliated with the colleges or they're media personality who went to the colleges. And so you're obviously going to have a bias. There's no good way to do this. Like we're talking here, but we're talking here, we don't have a solution because there isn't a good way to rank this many teams without something like an AP poll. I think it's just the voters suck. Like they suck at their job. So we sit here and we're like, the AP poll sucks, and the AP poll sucks. And you know what? Next week it's probably gonna be pretty bad. Like, it. I don't know if Alabama beats Georgia, and if Alabama beats Georgia, I fully expect Georgia to still be in the top 10
yeah,
because
it's
it'll be
Georgia.
a good win because Bama will probably jump into the top 10. And so like, and if Bama loses, they'll probably be unranked, which is fair to a certain point. But
No, they
like
won't.
at that point, our two losses would be to Georgia and Florida State, who are both in the top 10. But like,
They won't be
whatever. If
unranked.
they unrank us, that's fine. We'd be, I think at that point, we'd be 3-2, 2-2.
Mm-hmm. Three
We'd
and
be
two.
2-2 or 3-2.
Oh no,
What would we?
2 and 2. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
we'd be
I
two and
was
two, and that's fine.
yeah.
I think if you're 500, at 2-2, you don't deserve to be ranked, and so whatever. That would
If
be
you're at one
fine.
and two, why are you ranked? Sorry.
Well, yeah, obviously,
Ugh.
but we've talked about that. We don't like Notre Dame is getting the biggest. They must be. Never mind. Like they're. I'm not gonna say that. But it's bad. And next week will probably be bad, and then the week before that it'll be bad, and we'll sit here, and eventually we'll become numb to it, and we just won't care anymore. And then they'll win. And like, but I'm gonna say this year feels worse than other years. I don't think I've ever seen the AP poll be this directionless
Makes
and like
zero
not know what they're
sense.
doing. And like, we have 5 teams getting number one team votes right now, which is like good usually because like it's parity. But like, let's be real. Who in their right mind's voting Oklahoma as the best team in the country? Like, I don't know. And like Miami jumping 2 spots for beating an unranked Florida team, by the way, like not as convincing as I would have hoped for them to be. I don't know, man. It and you know what's insane? Um Actually good. I for a second I thought I read that Clemson received votes and I was gonna get mad, but they did not receive votes. Um
No.
no one
Oh,
really
by
knows
the
what to do
way,
right now. Hmm.
oh, just for everybody out there, this is my one joyful spot of the week is that this is Clemson's worst spot since or spot start since 2004. So,
At least you
yay.
get that. Um yeah, man. I don't entirely understand this week. This is you'll see I'm sure you'll see a highlight video. It'll be 13 minutes long of us just complaining. But like if you're upset that we're complaining, what do you want us to do? Like,
You're
like
upset that we're complaining. You're a
you're the
freaking Notre Dame
problem.
fan.
We need to start being more strict. I mean, I just can't wait until the playoff rankings. And even those are
Those
like
are gonna
usually
be
kind of
dumb.
spotty. Those are gonna be spotty too. Um, yeah, Utah and Auburn dropped from the top 25, which we talked about. And yeah, I guess let's get on to the games now. Sorry for this being a kind of negative-ish start to the episode. I can go, so we don't go negative, negative,
I
negative,
was gonna
negative.
say it's not gonna get better.
I'll talk about the IU Illinois game. Um, man, this probably one of my favorite football games ever. I talked before the week that the key to this game for us was going to be reducing mistakes. And what did they do? They reduced mistakes. They caused turnovers. The blocked punt from D'Angelo Pons for the touchdown to start the game was when I was like, oh, okay, they're flying. Like they came to play. Um, Illinois looked like a FCS team against us. I have never seen them play with that aggression. That like Sig wanted to run that John up more than it already was. And I'm gonna say this: I have not been an Indiana fan as long as people here. I'm an adopted Hoosier, but I will say for the people that had to sit through Brett Bielema's Wisconsin team running 82 on this Indiana team, I think like 10 years ago, they kept running the score up. This is probably one of the most cathartic football games they've ever watched. It was cathartic for me, and like I don't even care about that. Um, this was I like everything was good. There's not a single bad thing that happened. There was the one Illinois touchdown was the only bad thing that happened. It was off a defensive miscommunication. Like the defense was flying. 7 sacks on the day. Isaiah Bones Jones with probably his best game in an Indiana uniform. The rushing attack was overwhelming. 312 yards to 2. Remember when a few weeks ago when I talked about this Indiana run defense being kind of questionable? They're back to what they were last year, if not better. And I'm so confident with saying this is the best. This is a better Indiana team than last year. Fernando Mendoza is a bona fide Heisman candidate. In his last 2 games, he's had 3 incompletions and 10 passing touchdowns. He had another just incredible game, 21 for 23 for 267 and 5 touchdowns. Um, Omar Cooper continues to be Omar Cooper and Elijah Surratt continue to be one of the better 1-2 wide receiver punches in the country. And the running game with once again Kobe Martin being the leading rusher with 12 carries for 107 and 2 touchdowns. It's the thing. It's a Hydra. You cut off a head, another one rises. Lee Beebe out for the year, and now Kobe Martin has slid into his place. This rushing attack is the best in the country, and it's like not close. Um, Mendoza's the best quarterback in the Big Ten, in my opinion. I think he's probably one of the best players in the country. He has not put a step wrong. And what I love about this is just the way the team handled this. Like Sig said it in the post game news. I talked a lot last year, and he did. And it made us a punching bag. The Google me, I win, all of that. That was fun. That was to rally us. But now we're here. Now we are a contender, and it's been nothing but business. Um, this is easily going to go down as the best football game probably I've ever attended. Um, the Rock was pumping. We had a new attendance record, which was pretty cool. Um, and as Sig said, we broke their will. I saw a broken Illinois team for a majority of that game that could not do anything against us. And you can be sad about them losing their whole most of their secondary and the targeting call and whether or not that was targeting or not. Newsflash, Illinois wasn't beating us if they had every single one of their starting players. There was not a galaxy where Illinois walked out of Memorial Stadium with a win. Um, they made Luke Allmeyer look JV. They made their defense look atrocious. Man, it was, and I'm gonna say it. I think we're the best team in the Big Ten. I truly think we're the best team in the Big Ten. No one has looked as dominant as we have. And, it's 100% bias. But, if we go in and we beat the shit out of Iowa and Kinnick next week, then there's nothing anyone can say. I think that's an insane trap game. I think they cannot drink the rat poison going into this game because Kinnick's a rough place to play. So I'm going to be, there's not a single thing I would change about this. This was a perfect, perfect, perfect game. Um, and yeah, I think this team has real aspirations. I wouldn't say they're contending for the national championship, but hosting a home playoff game, it's going to be interesting. They still have a pretty hard schedule at Iowa. We still have to play Oregon and Penn State away. I expect us to drop one of those games, which now I can say I think one of those games they'll probably win. Um, and yeah, this really does feel like a team of destiny this year. We'll see how that pans out in the future, but man, one of my favorite football games I've ever had the pleasure of watching. Just a incredible atmosphere, incredible game. And man, yeah, they got to give us our respect, man. They like what can they say now about us? They can't. We beat a top. The main thing with Indiana last year is, oh, they can't beat ranked teams. We played one and we beat the shit out of them. Like, you say what you will about Illinois not deserving their spot in the rankings, but they're still a ranked team. So, yeah, incredible week to keep the momentum up against Iowa next week in Kinnick, and everything will be okay. Do you watch any of the game? Catch any of it?
No, ours were at the same time.
I watched yours
I was
eventually. I eventually got to
I
watch
was like
yours.
I was zero service in freaking Missouri.
Well, one day you'll have to tune in to Indiana.
No, yeah. Well, I
One
have
day,
you
one day.
guys's what you call it? I get your notifications for your game. Like I have notifications turned on for Indiana because I know we're gonna talk about it on the podcast, so
I
I
feel like
always
I
get the
always
like
watch the South
touchdown,
Carolina games,
touchdown.
and I never get the. You never get the opportunity to talk about us.
Oh. I literally like I watch so much less college football now actually in college, which is kind of a bummer. Not kind of, but it's a bummer because of how much of the
It's
day
fun.
I don't have service or am not available to watch my phone or like am not available to check in or like anything like that. And it just kind of sucks. But
I am mostly giving you shit. I understand why you don't, and like we're usually on it like the same time. So,
yeah. No, it's
but
literally like I'm excited for like because we in November we have like 3 away games in a row and I'm like I could watch things because I'm not going on any of those trips. So I'm like I could watch games, I could watch us play. I don't have to be there. So that's beautiful.
well, speaking of South Carolina, take it away.
I'm tired of talking about the same things like over and over again. Um,
There are some new points in this one. I feel like, right?
I don't even
The
know.
penalties thing is kind of new.
Kinda. So we're gonna just like take it away here. I don't even know how to like where we're gonna begin because we gotta it might bounce around, but let's start off with just some statements of the fact that we got 14 penalties this game for 98 yards, 6 of which were false starts on our offense. It wasn't even that loud. I know that like there's a lot to be said because we've done it a lot in Willie B, where there's a lot to be said about a loud atmosphere and like it can be disorienting and it can cause false starts and like that happens plenty of times. We've seen it all the time. It's one of the main things that people say about Williams-Brice is that like oh it's a hard environment to play. We've caused Texas A&M to get like how many like however many false starts while they've played us. Stuff like all of that. I was there. It was not that loud compared to other environments. 6 false starts, -9 rushing yards. We dipped 3 times into We had -2 rush yards, got out of the negatives, went back to -2 rush yards, got out of the negatives, and now we ended the game with -9 rush yards. We have one of the most horrendous rushing games I've ever seen. How many times are we going to give it to Rasul Faisal to run up straight the middle and get 0 yards before we stop playing it? This is also the most points we've scored in a game since Mike Shula has been our offensive coordinator. I just saw a thing today. People are calling for him to be fired, and usually I'm not a person who's like, fire them, unless it was Muschamp. I really was like, fire that man. Like,
Doing like every
literally,
single other South
are
Carolina
you ready
fan.
for this? Are you ready for this? 17
Hmm.
points against Illinois, 17 points against Virginia Tech, 17 points against South Carolina State, 7 points against Vandy, 20 points against Mizzou. This is the
Did you
most
score?
points. What?
I swear you scored in the 30s against SC State.
I'm pretty sure no.
Pretty sure the final goal score of that game was like 38 to 4, like
What am I
3 or something.
reading? Yeah, who the fuck?
You guys have scored 30 point. Yeah, you scored 38 against SC State. You scored
Who
24
is
against
this
Virginia Tech.
person? Anyways, the rest of it is like, why? We haven't. the run game looks horrendous. The O-line looks horrendous. The defense looks horrendous. And I've been complaining about the defense since week freaking one. Who wrote this? Now I'm very curious because they literally were like 17, 17, 17. Because that's not
That
even
could be
true.
wrong.
Anyways, who knows? Sellers just looks afraid to be able to throw things. Um, and like I don't blame him. He doesn't have time to. It all just looks bad. And like there was one really good throw from Sellers that just went right through. I think it was Nick Harbor, which is kind of shocking, but just right through his hands. I'm like, guys, what are we doing? So defense couldn't stop anybody. O-line couldn't block anyone at all either. Um, which I've been also saying for forever. I mean, it's obvious that the O-line can't block anybody when like I mean your quarterback got a concussion last week. Um, just freaking ridiculous. We started locking in like in the first half and like in the second quarter, and then we just decided to like panic the rest of it and just not do anything of substance or make any sort of moves or anything at all or just be good because literally, hold on, third quarter, we just scored two field goals and then not at all in the fourth quarter. So literally just freaking ridiculous. I mean, I'm tired of talking about the same things of like defense needs to shape up, O-line needs to shape up, offense needs to start making moves and like being more aggressive. Why are we still running the ball this much when clearly our run game has been horrendous? Who knows? It's truly exhausting and it's so disappointing because like I always like to say like I always joke and in like there is some truth obviously in the jokes that like oh I never want to like call it because I never know how it's gonna go and if I call it or if I say it's gonna be good it's gonna be awful or if it's like whatever. But like just because I never speak it doesn't mean I didn't have some hope because like going into the season you always have a little bit of hope no matter how bad the last season was. But genuinely, there was supposed to be hope because we were supposed to like be coming back with like Sellers has a little more experience. We have like a new offensive coordinator, a new blah blah blah. Like there's like supposed to be like I genuinely had higher, way higher hopes. I mean, obviously than this. This is awful, but like just bad all around, and just disappointing because it's just who knows, just ridiculous. So. These next couple games are gonna be rough if we still keep making the same mistakes because it's gonna be Kentucky, but then you're like Kentucky at home, which we did vaguely briefly talk about earlier, but like I don't have faith if we're heading in like this past 2 weeks, if that's how we're looking heading into this week, it's not gonna be good. And also like after that you have a bye and then you're at LSU and then Oklahoma, who's number seven, and then Alabama, which I don't have hopes for that either, because I mean, like Alabama's still ranked and you're not. They're obviously still having a better season than you are. And then you go at Ole Miss and at Texas A&M. Who are we have a guaranteed win against this year? It's probably Coastal and Clemson. Everyone else, who fucking knows?
I wouldn't even
Who
say a
freaking
guaranteed
knows?
win against Clemson. I mean, that's a rivalry game, so
I mean,
shenanigans there.
Clemson's a fucking mess though, and it's at home, which is
Yeah,
why
but
I'm like,
they'll get up for the Palmetto Bowl probably.
who knows? That's why it's just ridiculous. All of it's ridiculous. Can we stop making the same mistakes? Can we start learning? I don't know, doing better, changing things, shaping up, do something, please. Because this is bad. And like we talk about the panic button and like the most frustrating thing about that is that I think we should hit it. I don't think we are going to hit it. It's the thing. That's what sucks about it. Is that like we need to hit the panic button and there's time to make real like big ass changes. Whether you start, I'm so sorry, but like the O line needs to start running laps. Like if I was their coach, you guys are getting in trouble. You aren't doing your job consistently. We are in week 4 and you still aren't giving your quarterback time. You let him get a concussion last week. No. it's just bad. I hate it all.
Yep.
Um, so yeah. Um, yep. Yay, having a blast. So who knows how next week is gonna go? Genuinely. That's uh, and honestly, we just talked about like rankings. I don't think that we're gonna get like let's say we beat Kentucky and we beat like let's say we win every this is an extreme hypothetical. Are we ready? Let's say that we win every single game up until like I would say we wouldn't be ranked until like if we beat Ole Miss. If we win every like if we win Kentucky, LSU, Oklahoma, Alabama, we would have to win Ole Miss before I think we got ranked again.
You'd be ranked. You'd be ranked because Oklahoma and LSU are both top 10 teams, and
Yeah.
Bama could
That's
potentially
why
be a
we'd
top
have
10
to
team.
be. That's why we'd have to be Ole Miss. Like if it would be like you'd have to win every single game up until that point and be Ole Miss, and then I could see us being ranked again.
Yeah. You said most of what I had. Shocking lack of discipline from this team, which is a new thing, I think, for this South Carolina team. And yeah, just non-existent run game, kind of existent pass game, but other than that, yeah, very winnable game. I feel like that kind of squandered. Um, and yeah, this gets us into the normal slate. LSU beat SE Southeast Louisiana 56 to 10. Riley, man, that's that good stuff.
Oh,
And
wait.
Florida. Mm,
This is we already moved on from the rankings, but this was just my little tidbit, little interesting little thing that I thought was that every single state university in the rankings fell this week. Penn State, LSU, FSU, and ISU. I don't know, just funny. Funny little tidbit there. Anyways, carry on.
um, yeah, Florida loses to Miami 26 to 7. Um, not like blown away here by Miami. Um, but they did what they needed to do. Carson Beck looked pretty good again. Finally threw an interception this year, but
You know
um,
who's threw zero interceptions, which I don't understand how, because he legit threw freaking
yeah,
five last
Lagway.
week. How? I bet,
But
not real money,
but
but I bet on him. It was an over under point 0.5 interceptions. And I was like, oh, guaranteed over. No, not a single
to be
over
fair,
interception this year.
he still only
Week.
had 60 passing yards.
Yes.
So
So, um, but still, I was like,
I mean,
damn,
I think
thought that was a safe bet.
when you look at this Miami team, they are they are strong on all sides. They have a pretty good offense. They have a very good defense. So yeah, I think this was just a very comprehensive win for Miami. I mean, I would have liked to see them not have it be as close in the fourth quarter, but it's still Florida, and like we can talk about how bad this Florida team is. But they played LSU kind of close last week, um, and so yeah. And then Oregon beat Oregon State 41 to 7 in the Civil War. This isn't really a who cares game because it's a Civil War, but a rough start to the year for Oregon State, who still can't win. Florida State beats Kent State 66 to 10. Who cares? And then we briefly talked about it. Texas beat Sam Houston 55 to 0. Arch finally had a good game, which was nice. Um,
Sam
Obviously there's the
Houston, though.
stare down thing that came from it, and yeah, yeah. Well, who cares? Who actually gives a shit about Texas
Texas
beating
fans.
Sam Houston State?
Texas fans.
Um,
Arch Manning.
that is true. I shouldn't say that. And then Oklahoma beat Auburn 24 to 7. This was a pretty good game. Close competitive contest. Um, Controversies as well, which you love. Officiating controversies, which you love to have in games like this. Um, it was. I'm pulling up what the issue was real quick. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? But Auburn was there, so I mean, you could say that about them, that they were there with a pretty establishedly good Oklahoma team. The issue here was that ESPN faked a substitution and it led to a touchdown, which is just objectively not allowed. SEC officiating admitted that they missed unsportsmanlike conduct for unfair tactics about this, and who knows what would have happened if that didn't happen, but unfortunate. If you care about Auburn, if you're an Alabama fan, then that's kind of funny. But I mean, this was a good game. This was fun. I do think Auburn is legitimately pretty good this year. I don't think they'll like make playoffs or anything, or they'll compete for anything big, but it definitely looks like they've taken a step forward after last year's kind of disaster year. Um, and Oklahoma just looks solid. Like, I don't think they'll compete for the SEC. I mean, let me see their schedule. Red River will be fun at least. And yeah, they have a pretty rough schedule to end the year, like every single team in the SEC does. So we'll see how they. Because like I like saying like, oh yeah, this team isn't going to compete for the SEC, but with how much of a bloodbath it is, like who knows, man? Like they're going to cannibalize themselves pretty nasty this year. So yeah, you got anything?
No, like you pretty much said it all.
Um,
I did see
Ole
the
Miss.
unfair
Hmm?
tactics thing, which low-key just sucks if you're an Auburn fan, but
Maybe
just
don't be a
unfortunate.
Barner. Yeah, it is unfortunate. Tulane loses 10-45 against Ole Miss. I thought that was going to be a much better game than it was. Um, but yeah,
Tulane
Tulane
always
kind of
has a
got
special
curb
place in my
stomped.
heart.
You mean Tulane?
That's what I said.
You said Toledo.
Gr Girl, no, I didn't.
Yes, you did. I heard
No,
Toledo.
I didn't.
No, no,
I
no, no, no.
said
I heard
Tulane.
Toledo.
We're gonna have to
I
replay
heard
this
Toledo.
after because I swear
Mm,
I said Tulane. Anyways,
mm.
um, we'll see when it gets uploaded tomorrow. Comment down below. Did I say
Comment down
Tulane?
below. Did you hear? It's
Toledo?
like the Yanny Laurel
The
thing,
Annie Laurel thing.
or like the
Um,
the dress, but audio.
the
Someone
dress,
killed
but
someone over
listening.
the dress thing.
Really?
I think there was like a dispute over, hold on. There
That's
was a
truly
dispute
insane.
dress picture, um, white, gold or blue, killing. Hold on, it's
Here's the thing about the
unfortunate.
dress
Google share screen.
picture is like I've only ever seen the picture.
Oh, sorry. It's not that the picture caused someone to do it. The person who took the picture got charged with attempted murder of his wife.
Oh,
Uh, Never mind. That's less fun.
see the thing about the dress illusion is that like I've only ever seen it where they compare the two options back and forth.
Wasn't it fake?
I don't know. I don't see how it's an illusion looking at it now. Because one of them is like a clearly altered image.
Looks kind of blue to me, or whatever the initial color is. Hold on, I need to pull it. I haven't seen this image in like ages. Blue or gold dress debate. Yeah, this shit's blue, bro. Yeah, man,
What?
you gotta be geeked if you think that's anything other than blue.
Are we seeing the same thing?
Are
Hold up.
we?
Eh.
We definitely are. It's just very like gold.
What is this one?
That's visually altered.
That's visually altered.
No, that's visual. That one is visually altered. The other one isn't. The one that I see on my screen is not visually altered.
The one that I see is this, that it's like
I'm
blue
sure
in
this
the
looks great for the
shadow.
audio listeners.
Okay. I was just
I'm
the
sending you the
one I
Wikipedia
see.
article. I'm sending you the Wikipedia article.
Okay.
It's
It's
you
just
can put
weird because it's like I've only ever seen it compared. Okay, let me open this. I've only ever
that's
seen them
blue.
compared side by side, so I've never seen it like I feel like truly just like my first like a what color is it? Why can't I open this?
'Cause you have a bad computer.
Yeah, my computer's like 10 years old. It's loading. Every time I'm like about to boot it up for this is a great segment for audio. That is gold. Nate. That is that is a
That's
gold
blue.
and white
That is
dress.
blue. That is 100% blue. What are you talking about?
What?
Do you see gold? Are you like,
Nate, what part of it? Like the shadow kind of makes the white of it look blue.
are you fucking kidding? I
What's the
wish I
blue
could show
part?
you through my eyes. I wish I could show you through my eyes. That's just blue and black. Are we looking at the same the picture
I
on
opened the
Wikipedia?
Wikipedia article. That shit is
It's
golden
blue.
light.
That
No,
shit's
it's not.
blue. Shit, maybe it is right. We were talking mad shit about that,
We were
but
like
I
that
don't think
fake ass illusion, and we're both like, no, it's clearly this. That's insane. Next time we're together, we're pulling this
are
up
you
on a
kidding?
phone. We're pulling this up on a phone, and we're both gonna show each other while we're side by side, and we're gonna see what it is.
You're kidding, right?
Hold on, should I share my screen?
No, because we can't see it. And also your computer's not good enough to do that.
Have faith.
We'll just have to leave it to the viewers. Also, this podcast is going insanely long, and we still have like all the games to talk about.
I feel like we've
Tennessee,
only ever talked about disappoint. Like we've been like low energy, mostly for the rest of this, or just like disappointed overall. And now we're like, it's blue, it's gold. Interesting. Anyways,
dumbass. Um, Tennessee beat UAB 56 to 24. Questions about Tennessee's defense again. Texas Tech beats Utah 34 to 10. Behind the play of a backup quarterback. Baron Morton exited the game with an injury. And not gonna lie, they looked kind of better under Will Hammond than they did with Morton in. Hammond came in and they just kind of exploded in the fourth quarter. It was tied going up into there, and then they showed um, their medal, I guess, and pulled away. This is a very defensive game. Until then, Utah didn't score a touchdown until the fourth quarter. Um, and yeah, pretty good game. Pretty fun opening on the noon slot. Georgia Tech beat Temple 45 to 24. Riley,
it's your turn.
oh, it is. Who cares? Vanderbilt beat Georgia State 70 to 21.
I could not give a fuck about Vandy after last week. Ugh.
Michigan beat Nebraska 30 to 27, which actually was a pretty fun game. I know this podcast loves to shit on Dylan Raiola because he deserves it, but he's actually playing much better this year than he was last year. He had
Patrick
another pretty
Mahomes
good.
actually saw him play.
He had a pretty good game, minus the interception. Went 30 for 41 for 308, three touchdowns and an interception. Once again, Michigan leaned on their running game. Justice Haynes with another good day, 17 carries for 149 and a touchdown here. This Michigan team is good, but they have a ceiling, I think. Um, but I also think Nebraska's pretty good. I mean, they still haven't won a ranked game since 2016, but like, they're better than they were last year, I think. I think they'll be able to compete with the teams of the Big Ten. Maybe they'll even win a ranked game. And then yeah, Notre Dame beats Purdue 56 to 30. Kind of embarrassing for Notre Dame to allow this Purdue team to score 30 points on them. This has kind of been the
Hey,
issue I feel like
hey,
everyone's talked
they're
about.
still ranked.
They are still ranked. This has been the issue everyone's talked about with this Notre Dame team is that they have an unstereotypical Notre Dame defense, which like Notre Dame's usually known for having pretty strong defenses, and this year it is bad. But it's Notre Dame, so they're an independent. They don't like really play anyone other than like USC. For like, you want to hear their schedule for the rest of the year? Boise State, NC State, USC at Boston College, Navy at Pitt, Syracuse at Stanford.
How many for
They'll
them to
probably end
lose
up
before they
finishing this.
actually fall out of the rankings?
So I got a fun query for you here. Does 10-2 Notre Dame make the playoffs?
Yeah,
That'd be
100%.
unfortunate.
That would be very unfortunate, but
Because
yes.
they would, I guess at that point they'd have a maybe
0 and
ranked team for
2 Notre
USC.
Dame was still ranked. 10 and 2 Notre Dame is in the playoffs. Hate to break it to you.
That's unfortunate. Um, yeah, man. I think allowing Purdue to score 30 points on you if you're a Power Four team should be like I don't know. You deserve to be like castrated. Um, and then kicking off at 11 o'clock for everyone who lived in East Lansing, USC beat Michigan State and stopped the attempts at the Cheeseman. Um, I'm not gonna lie here and say that I watched this because this game started at 11 o'clock and it was after Indiana. I'm sure USC looked pretty good, and they'll probably beat Illinois next week. And then yeah. Oh, you are muted.
Ow.
Oh, you are. Okay, no, never mind. You're good. I just saw you
Oh,
like you moved your lips, and I like didn't hear anything. I was like, oh God.
no.
And yeah, now we move on to week 5, which is a pretty good slate. Friday night kicks off with Florida State versus Virginia at venerable Scott Stadium in Charlottesville, Virginia. I've been to many a game there, so just wanted to shout out Scott Stadium anytime I get a chance to. Oh, I guess. Oh, one game we didn't talk about. Uh, Oklahoma State got like their ass kicked by like Tulsa, so
I did.
that's
I did
funny.
see that.
TCU Arizona State could low key be a fun game Friday night. And then Saturday, we talked about it. Indiana goes to play at Kinnick, which is, in my opinion, a trap game. Um, this week is like cracked out of its mind, by the way. Bama plays Georgia,
LSU,
17 versus 5.
LSU Ole
USC
Miss.
plays at Illinois. Yep. LSU plays, is it at, yeah, at Ole Miss. Notre Dame, Arkansas could be fun, despite Arkansas losing to Memphis last week. I mean, it's in Fayetteville, so
You
why
talking
was
about
this not on
Oregon?
their schedule? Not Notre Dame. I meant Notre Dame. When I looked at
Oh,
Notre Dame's schedule, Arkansas wasn't on there. What? Oh, maybe it's just they play them this week. Um, I think that's a
it could be
trap
at the
game.
top of their schedule now.
Yeah, probably. Auburn A&M is going to be fun, most likely. Tennessee, Mississippi State is fun. Oregon at Penn State is the nightcap, is a blast. Have fun trying to watch Oregon, Penn State, and Bama, Georgia at the same time. Um,
I
and
can't
yeah,
because our game is at 7:45. Anyways,
I will watch as much of it as I can, which is probably all of it.
my
Um,
game? Oh, the Bama
no,
Georgia
my
game. Yeah, yeah,
my
yeah.
game, yeah.
I
Um,
was like,
and
why
yeah,
on earth would
hey
you
man,
want to watch South Carolina, Kentucky when the
week
other options
five,
are freaking Oregon and Penn State and
week five looks
Alabama,
cracked
Georgia?
out of its skull, like cracked out of its goddamn mind. This is a fun, fun, fun week. Um, and yeah, I think put week 4 on the red zone gauge, solid like 7.5 for me.
Oh, I was gonna say six,
So I guess uh, I don't
seven.
feel like doing 6.75, so we're gonna put it as a
No,
7.
seven. Seven makes more sense.
Um, this was a good week. I think it had high highs, but a lot of the games that everyone thought were going to be really good. Oh, we didn't ever talk about Clemson because I guess they're unranked.
Clemson
Clemson
has had
lost to
their worst.
Syracuse.
That's my highlight of the week. You want to ask if I go back to like when I was talking about lows and highs of my week, particularly talking about South Carolina. A high this week is that Clemson has had their worst start since 2004, and that's beautiful.
Yep, they're pretty bad.
And I really appreciate that. So,
Yeah, they
yeah,
are bad. They are very bad.
they're really not good.
Um,
They're just
and
like
yeah,
talking
we
about that
have.
quote about Dabo Swinney where he's like, "Hey, if they're tired of winning, they can fire me."
I would say Dad was on the hot
Uh,
seat, starting 1-3.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Especially
definitely.
since he like, I sent this to you and Jackson because now we can just name drop Jackson on the podcast because he's now a guest
Our rule is that we like don't name drop people until they've appeared on the
until a
podcast.
guest. Yeah. Um, but I sent y'all the quote from August that Dabo Sweeney said. I think we're gonna be the first 16-0 team, and it's a race to do that. And then did him so dirt. Oh Lord, this is terrible.
Your exposure is
Anyways,
not gonna
I
allow.
know. Did wait. Okay, vaguely. If I turn my brightness all the way down. There we go. Did him so dirty in like putting this quote here, right? And then immediately following it up with worst start since 2004. And I just think that's hilarious because I don't like Clemson. I also don't appreciate all the people making Carolina and Clemson like joint memes. And I'm like, guys,
Hey
we
man,
will never be together.
hey
Like,
man, the
ever.
1-10 Clemson versus 2-9 South Carolina on at 9 a.m. on the on A&E is going to be must watch television. Um, but yeah, it was a pretty good week. I still think like comparing this to last year when we had a dip in week 3 and week 4. So far we still haven't had a bad week yet. College football is still good, even if the AP rankings are bad. I will I'll leave us with this. I'll try. I mean, there's no way I can beat Jackson's quote from last week, but I'll
Oh, I
try.
have one. Wait.
Oh, you have one? Then yeah, you go.
Yeah, yeah. Um, okay. So I was really inspired by Jackson last week where he quoted all of our favorite childhood movies
Scar,
star, Lightning McQueen, and just
our
talked
favorite
about,
race car.
speed. And that really resonated with me and something that Eleanor Roosevelt said that was referenced at the beginning of a beautiful Will Ferrell movie where she said, America is all about speed. Hot, nasty, badass speed. Said at the beginning of Talladega Nights. So, uh, you know, let's just hope that speed keeps carrying people through these weeks. Um,
And not the streamer.
yeah, and not the streamer or the
Drug.
drug.
Which is worse, I show speed or the drug speed?
I think the
Probably the
drug,
drug. Dude, we
probably.
should have him on.
I show speed or the drug.
Both.
Unhinged
Yeah, we
week.
should we should we should have him on.
Yeah. He beat
Yeah.
Ashton Hall in a race 3 times.
Not what I
Crazy.
grew up on watching.
Me neither.
It's like it's so weird seeing modern YouTube and Twitch, considering what I
You're
grew
like,
up on
okay,
in like the 2014, like
Dan
2015
TDM.
era of like Minecraft YouTubers, yeah.
Yeah.
And now all the Minecraft YouTubers are fucking pedophiles. So god
Not
damn
Dan
it.
TDM.
Not Dan TDM, he's cool,
He's
he has a
still
child.
fine.
And
He's
hey, popular
okay.
MMOs came back the other week. And he's like sober now and like,
Good for
he
him.
good for him, man. But it's a damn shame all the rest of them are fucking pedophiles and ruining my goddamn childhood. Not the pack though.
Why?
Shout out the pack. Nothing inherently wrong to my knowledge. If they have done anything wrong, let me know in the comments, other than just like being cringe,
There's a lot
which
of things
doesn't
to
count.
comment. Comment if the dress is blue or gold. And then what was
Then
the other
comment
thing?
your favorite Minecraft YouTuber when you were a kid.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I said another thing at the beginning of this video, but we'll do it. If you heard me
Well,
say it, you should do it.
that was a week.
What a
Certainly one of the
week.
weeks of all time. Sorry for this not being that high energy of an episode. Midterms are starting to hit for us. Um,
Got a
and
test on
so,
Thursday. Nope,
yeah, I have a
Wednesday.
test. I have a test in a few weeks. I have a test, not in a few weeks. I have a test next week, and I have a test this week, and I have a quiz this week, and I have 1,000 things of work I need to do.
I had
All the while
three.
juggling.
I've had four of my five classes have their exams, first exams, and now the fifth one is Wednesday, and I'm not looking forward to it.
Yeah. All the while juggling this, my new radio show, which
Plug.
you can go find the radio show at motorsportslounge.wix every Thursdays from 8 to 9 o'clock. It's a motorsports radio talk show. It's pretty simple. I talk about motorsports and try not to get killed by the FCC. Um, which is why I have to say, go, I guess it's like whatever I said, which I just forgot is like the way you have to plug it. Like I can't say like go follow my show because you're not it's a call to action and you can't do that under FCC guidelines. So, um, check it out under your own free intuition. Do it if you want. And yeah, so we'll leave you there. As always, that was the Red Zone podcast every week. Go follow us on all of our socials where we post pretty weekly. Um, yeah, go follow us, man. And yeah, that was the Red Zone podcast. Bye bye, everyone. Roll
Bye.
Tide.